Hey everybody, my name is Gavin and I love horror. TikTok is undoubtedly one of the most popular social media apps currently running. Between memes, comedy, and those wonderful TikTok dances, millions of people log into the app every day to see what the new and current trends are. And some people are using TikTok to discover horror movies that they've never heard of. Today I'll be talking about 5 horror movies that were made popular by TikTok. Let's get into it. Before we get started, go ahead and leave a like on this video and subscribe to the channel. I am less than 50 subs away from hitting my goal of 2,000 subscribers before the end of the year, and I absolutely could not have done it without all of you, and I am truly, truly thankful. For this list, I'm working off of a post by The Lineup. It's a website that kind of compiled some of these for me, but it's a bit of an older list, but it checks out. But I did go ahead and adapt and add at least one newer movie to this list, so it's not just me regurgitating somebody else's work. The first movie on this list is from 2022 and it's called SKINAMARINK, and this movie looks absolutely terrifying. Like, I tried to watch the trailer and the trailer scared me. It made me uneasy in a way I haven't felt in a long time. SKINAMARINK follows the story of 2 kids who wake up in a house with no parents and all the windows and the doors have disappeared. It's supposed to give you that real feeling of dread of being a kid and not knowing what could be lurking in the shadows, what could be hiding in the darkness, that feeling when you're alone late at night and like the TV's on, there's static going on. It's very, very creepy and very unnerving. People on TikTok who have seen the movie are already calling it one of the scariest movies they've ever seen and said it fills them with a real dread and sense of uneasiness that they have not felt in a long time. And being able to fill an audience with actual dread and not just jump scares is really hard to do. So SKINAMARINK is definitely on my list to check out. It's not officially on any streaming platform or been released in theaters quite yet, but if you know where to look on the internet, you can find it. Torrents. You can torrent it. Next on the list, we've got Megan is Missing, and you knew this one was coming from the minute you heard TikTok popular horror movies. Megan is Missing is a 2011 found footage movie. The movie follows the story of Megan, who meets a guy online and then goes missing, and then she is the Megan is Missing in the Megan is Missing title. And then her best friend has to find her. TikTok was absolutely obsessed with this movie. I don't know how they found it or whatever, but like I said, it was one of my earliest reviews on this channel. I was not a huge fan of it. I get why people could think it's disturbing or uneasy, but for me, the acting wasn't super great on it, so I didn't love it. But you can check out my full review in the link above. But again, it's worth checking out and making an opinion for yourself if you're going to enjoy it. But for me, I did not think Megan is Missing was very good, but TikTok certainly loved it. Next, we've got Jennifer's Body from 2009, and I always love when people discover a movie from 2009 and I'm like, you know what? That movie's only 4 years old. And then I realized it's 2022 and it's not 2013 anymore, and Jennifer's Body is actually 13 years old. Oh, what a nice reminder that time waits for no one and we're all slowly going towards the end. Existential crisis aside, Jennifer's Body is actually a very fun movie and was a time when Megan Fox was an actress and not just that lady that shows up with Machine Gun Kelly on red carpet. Jennifer's Body follows the story of a cheerleader who becomes possessed by a demon and then starts killing her classmates, mostly the dudes in her school. She uses her sex appeal and charm to get them close and then kills them, you know, like a praying mantis would. Jennifer's Body is more horror comedy than straight horror, so if you're looking for a more horror experience, Jennifer's Body may not be for you. Also, the movie is very, very quippy, so if you're not the kind of person that enjoyed Juno, Jennifer's Body actually has the same writer, Diablo Cody, as Juno. So if you didn't like Juno and how quippy and kind of quirky that was, you probably won't like Jennifer's Body. But if you're open to more horror comedy, Jennifer's Body has a lot to say and actually was quite ahead of its time. Following up on Jennifer's Body, we've got the POUGHKEEPSIE tapes, a film from 2007 that is regularly on a list of the scariest movies ever made. The most disturbing things you'll ever see. So scary it'll make you bleed from your eyes and wish you were dead. Which, okay, that's quite the marketing. But the movie follows the premise of cops find a house that has over 800 videotapes inside of it, all depicting gruesome murders and torture and all kinds of bad things. And the movie kind of switches between a documentary style and then also inserting footage of the POUGHKEEPSIE tapes. What makes the POUGHKEEPSIE tape so, I guess, intriguing is it does the Blair Witch Project thing of making the audience think that it's real. A lot of TikTokers thought this was like an actual snuff film or that the POUGHKEEPSIE tapes were real and just adapted, but that's not true. The movie is actually 100% fiction, and honestly, it's pretty scary. I watched it about a year and a half ago, and it is It's pretty good. I think it's a little overhyped, but if you're looking for something that's very brutal, very almost evil feeling, the Poughkeepsie tapes is definitely one that you should check out. But just remember, it's not real no matter what TikTok says. And finally, we'll end this list with one of my favorites, and definitely my favorite from this list, and that is 2018's Hereditary, an absolutely masterclass in showing how grief affects all of us. Toni Collette is a tour de force in this movie and should have gotten an Oscar. I know I said it in like one of my previous videos. She should have gotten an Oscar for Hereditary because she was so good in it, but just how scary and creepy and eerie and just showing real human emotions is what makes Hereditary so scary for me. And the stunned silence that I felt in the theater after the pole scene. If you've seen Hereditary, you know what the pole scene is. Just that silence, that what did we just watch, was one of the best movie experiences that I've had in a decade. Also, a little side note, Hereditary was the first movie me and my now girlfriend went to go see back then. So what a way to start a relationship. But definitely check out Hereditary. You will not be disappointed. I know some people have an issue with like the third act and how it turns out. I loved it all the way through. And while I wasn't a fan of Ari Aster's follow-up Midsommar, Hereditary is definitely one that you need to check out. But what are some of the movies that you've discovered through TikTok? Let me know in the comments below and recommend me anything that you think I might need to check out. Until next time, stay weird.